High protein diet is everywhere. If you are on a new health and wellness journey, you will see that a high protein diet is something that everybody should have, especially if you are a woman over 40 entering the journey of perimenopause and menopause. If you don't know me, my name is Rachel. I'm a solo mum to one to a wonderful little boy. I'm a fitness instructor, personal trainer, menopause coach, and dance teacher trained. I took a massive break when I had my son because I became a single mum when I was 6 months pregnant. So I took a very long break from the industry. I'm getting back into it now as I enter the perimenopause stage of myself, hoping to share my journey, my expertise, and my experience with you all to hopefully help you in some way. Now, high protein diet is really important for everybody, but especially for women over the age of 40 as we enter this stage of our life. So why do we need protein? So protein is the body's main building block. It helps create enzymes, hormones, it helps our immune system, it provides structure for ourselves, and it basically just helps us function correctly. If we don't take in enough protein, our bodies will seek protein out. They want to find it somewhere. So what it usually does is it starts attacking and eating our own muscles, which sounds horrible that our body eats our own body. If we don't fuel it correctly, it will start eating your own body, and it starts off with lean muscle mass, which is why women over the age of 40 are told to strength train and prioritize protein, because if you're giving your body enough protein, it's not going to eat your muscles, basically. Another thing our body does if it doesn't get enough protein is it actually starts craving sugary snacks and carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates are not bad for you, but there are two different kinds of carbohydrates. You've got the simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. So our complex carbohydrates are the healthy carbs. These are the carbs we want to have. So they're things like our sweet potatoes, our bananas, our fruit, our vegetables, or the starchy kind of carbs. But then our simple carbohydrates, that's going to be things like crisps, cake, sweets, and chocolate, and all the things that we absolutely love, but we can only really have in moderation. So if we don't take in enough protein, our body is going to be craving those sugary and nice food, carbohydrates and snacks that we want to have. Now, those snacks have no nutritional value whatsoever, and we all know that if you have some, it just makes you want more and more and more. It never really satisfies you until maybe you want to be sick, and then you know you've eaten way too much. And by having those sugary snacks and those sweets and chocolate is actually where weight gain comes in. Now, if you're a woman over the age of 40 entering the perimenopause stage of your life, then our hormones are already going erratic and crazy, and generally makes us even hungrier. So we're not prioritizing protein and we're not satiating our body with enough protein every single day, then we are going to be having more of those sugary snacks, and that's where our weight gain comes in. But also with a woman over the age of 40, we naturally put on weight anyway, again, because our hormones are fluctuating, they're all over the place, they don't know what they're doing. And we just generally gain weight, especially in our mid area. But I will do another video on weight gain, especially around the mid area and why that actually happens. But by having the sugary snacks, it's going to put more weight on. So if we prioritize our protein, we are not going to be craving as many snacks, and therefore hopefully be able to lose a little bit of body fat as we go through this journey. Also, during the perimenopause and menopause stage of our life, we tend to become less active. Now, because we are feeling more stressed, we are feeling more tired, and we have less energy. So therefore, we're not active as much. We don't want to go and work out. We don't want to go for a walk, but we're still eating the same amount of food. So by still eating the same amount of food, maybe even having a few more sugary snacks because that's what our bodies are craving, not prioritizing protein and being less active is one of the reasons why we gain more weight, especially over the age of 40. But even if you were a woman, if you're a man and you're not over the age of 40, but you do that anyway, it's probably going to happen. But it's more difficult for a woman over 40 with hormones fluctuating as well. Now, there was a research paper done in 2022 by Professor David Rabenheimer. I think that's how you say it, but I'm going to put his name here because I'm not completely sure how you pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it anymore. From the University of Sydney. And in that paper, it stated that if women over the age of 40 who are going through the perimenopause and menopause stage of their life, if they eat less carbohydrates and less fats, but they ate more protein and they took part in physical activity, they would see more changes to their body. Now, my personal opinion, reading the research and just reading generally everything about menopause and nutrition, I think that as long as you have a healthy, balanced diet and take part in activity, probably with a women over 40, do increase in that protein intake because of what our bodies are going through with our hormones and everything, is the best way forward for a woman over 40. It will keep you satiated for longer, but it will also help our lean muscle mass, it will help our skin, it will help our hair, and it will keep our energy levels more stable so that we can go and do a workout, go for a walk, or whatever kind of activity that you enjoy doing. So how much protein should you actually take in? So now we know why we have to have protein, how much do we actually have to take in? So it all depends mainly on what your activity is like and how much you weigh, and there's a lot of different things that you need to take into consideration, but we'll go into that in one moment. But usually it's around 30 grams of protein per every meal, and including an evening snack, so you're getting around 100 to 120 grams of protein per day. So it has to be per day, not per week or per month, it's per day. So it can be a little bit tricky to get started with that, and I will do another video on that in the future, but that's basically where you need to be aiming towards. Now, if you want to have a bit more of an accurate reading with your lifestyle, with how much activity you take in and where you are starting at, it's usually recommended to have between 1 and 1.2 grams of protein per every kilo that you weigh. And if you work in pounds, it's 0.5 to 0.6 grams of protein per every pound that you weigh. Now, you can use an online protein calculator, which I'll link in the description box below for you, just so you can get a more accurate reading of how much protein you're supposed to be having. Because again, it depends more on your lifestyle, and how much activity you're actually doing will depend on how much protein you need to take in. Now, as a single mum, I don't have the time to be weighing all my food out and weighing all my protein and all my macros, which your macros are your carbs, your fats, and your proteins. I don't have the time to do that. I'm a single mum to one, and I'm busy. I'm just busy. So how I do it is every meal that I have, I prioritize my protein first. So before I put any other meals together, I make sure I've got my protein. So in the morning, I'm always having Greek yogurt with protein powder to get extra protein in. I usually have between 30 and 40 grams of protein every single morning. I do a high protein more in the morning and a little bit less throughout the day. Lunches, I usually can have an omelette. I usually have 2 or 3 egg omelette. I then have some ham and some cheese with that as well. Again, I usually get about 20 grams of protein with the eggs and the ham, or if I have tuna with it, I can have the extra protein from that as well. And then for dinner, I'd have some grilled chicken breast, and I'd have some roasted vegetables because I love roasted vegetables. And I'd have some kind of carbohydrate. I'm not really a carb person. I don't like carbohydrates that much. So I don't have pasta or rice or anything, but you easily can do that. But I just prefer not to. But I usually have some lean chicken with lots of roasted vegetables for my evening dinner. And then if I'm hungry afterwards, I could have some quark, which is like a nice soft cheese, which is high protein, cottage cheese with pineapple. And I've been mixing peanut butter and honey in with my cottage cheese at the moment. And oh, it's lush. And because I've got a kid, I put a few sprinkles on just to make it a little party for the evening. So that's what I do to get my protein in. So rather than count my protein, rather than count all my macros, because I just don't have the time to sit there with my scales trying to measure everything out. I'm a mum. I don't have the time to do that. I'm always called to do something. There's always ironing or washing or getting ready for school the next day. There's too much to do for me to stand there and count all my proteins and my macros. So instead of doing that, I prioritize my protein first and then make the rest of my dinner around my protein. And then I know at least I've got my protein in. I will do another video on high protein meals, and I'll do some recipe videos as well to show you different things that I do. And I am a sweet tooth person. I love a dessert. I love sweets, I love chocolate, I love all of that. So lately I have been making some healthier, less sugar desserts, which is also high protein, which keeps me fuller for longer. And I'm still hitting my protein goals without putting myself in a calorie surplus and having more treats than I probably should be. I also want to show you how you can do this on a budget. Like I've said many times, I'm a single mum, I'm on a budget, and I can't afford to go out and buy all these expensive organic food items. I'd love to, but my money needs to go elsewhere. So on this channel, I'm going to be showing you some workout videos that you can do at home, 10, 15, 20-minute workouts that you can fit in around the children, or maybe even get the children involved in them. I'm also going to show you recipe ideas, talk about symptoms of perimenopause, fueling your body correctly, and restoring your mindset, your sleep, your stress, and all those different things as a mum with little time on a budget. And if those are the kind of things that you are going to enjoy doing and you want to know more about, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So that's it for today's video. I hope that it really helped you. I hope it made you understand why we need to prioritize protein more. If you have any questions or want to add anything else into the video, then do drop it down in the comments so that I can learn from you, you can learn from me, and we can all help each other. And if you have liked today's video, don't forget to like and share it with somebody else that they might find this video useful as well. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the other videos I've got coming out to help you on your wellness journey as I go through my wellness journey as well. I hope whenever you're watching this, you're having a great day today, and I will see you on the next video.